Well, greetings from central Montana. I'm enjoying a beautiful spring day. It's supposed to start snowing again tomorrow. So I'm enjoying today. This isn't a fun video. This is a serious video. We had one of our traveling community lost their life here just recently, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. It made national news. I'm sure you saw it. It's an older couple traveling in a motorhome, towing a car, and they took a wrong turn. Their GPS told them that that was the way to go, and it was a dirt road though, and they took this dirt road that led them up over a mountain. They passed other RVs along the way, along the dirt road. It was like a gravel road, and so they thought they were okay. But when they got up near the top, their motorhome got stuck. And they thought, well, that's all right. They've got their home with them. They've got all the comforts and everything. They'll just spend the night there, and then the next day they'll find help. They didn't have any cell service. So their plan was to take their vehicle that they were towing and drive back down the mountain. I would have done the same thing. But going back down the mountain, they took a wrong turn. They didn't follow the exact track going back, and that vehicle got stuck. And that's where the troubles began for them. They didn't have any food or water or blankets or anything with them, and the woman was able to go out and collect snow, and they were able to drink. It was very small amounts of snow. It wasn't like snow. They were in the shade of a rock. They were able to scoop up a little snow, and they were able to melt that and drink that. But unfortunately, the husband died from dehydration. Any tragedy can be avoided, and theirs is hard to say. But a lot of tragedies are a chain of events where if you broke any link in the chain, the outcome would be totally different. If they hadn't followed the GPS, if they had their GPS set differently within the settings, if they had just stayed with their motorhome, if they hadn't taken that wrong turn going back down the hill, if they had brought some water and some blankets with them in their car, if. They didn't make any real mistakes, but when you put them all together, that's what led to this particular tragedy. There's a story here in Montana about a school teacher that had driven out to a ranch because a student had been, I don't know if he was sick that year or injury of some kind, but he couldn't make it to school, and she was bringing him homework. This was quite a while ago, before internet. And this ranch, it was like 100 miles of dirt road to get there. And that evening, when she was leaving, the rancher and his wife asked her, "Do you have any survival equipment in the car?" And she had nothing at all. She wasn't from Montana. She was from somewhere where they didn't think about things like that. So they equipped her with blankets and water and some things and let her go. But they admonished her for traveling unprepared. Any vehicle that I use, and I hope you do too, you should have some kind of a kit inside. Linda and I always have a pair of 2 wool blankets, and we always have water in the car. Always, always, always. If it's freezing weather, then we always bring something from home so we have water in the car. There is that. You should always have a kit. Always have an emergency starter in your car. There's things. This video is not really about that. But you should be prepared that way. Never trust your GPS. It will lead you astray. I guarantee it. Ours has tried to do that many times. We call her Rhonda, and we swear at her politely. But she's like, no, I don't think so, Rhonda. You know, the woman's voice on the GPS. We're not doing that, Rhonda. Don't get upset with us. But, then she'll say, in 100 yards, make a U-turn. And you keep wanting to bring you back to that turn that she wanted you to make that is wrong because you use a map, Never trust your GPS. Many times our Garmin Nuvi GPS here has given us faulty information. Many times. Such as trying to have us turn up a dry wash out in the desert because their satellite information interpreted that as a road. Leading us on dirt roads because it was the shortest route instead of on a highway. Luckily, we knew that because there's a setting in here where you can eliminate dirt roads if you want to. One time we were heading down a highway and the city we were heading for was only 20 miles in front of us on good highway, and this was insisting that we make a right turn, and I stopped just to check it out, and the track was going to take us clear around a mountain range and back up to that same city. You can't trust these. You have to kind of know what you're doing. We don't use this for highway navigation. We use this to get us to places in town. You got to make sure that the settings are correct on this. Make sure if you don't want to go down dirt roads, make sure that that you take that setting out, eliminate dirt roads on it. If you just have it set on the shortest route and there's a dirt road available, it'll take you down a dirt road. But there's one thing that could have saved them. One thing. And that would have been if they would have had a GPS locator communicator. Linda and I carry all times. Even when I ride my bike, within 20 minutes after I leave my house, I'm beyond cell signal. That's true. When you see me in those videos riding my bike out on the dirt trails and stuff, I have no cell service out there. And I bring my GPS communicator with me. Various companies make them. Ours is a Garmin, but there's other companies. You do some research. With that, I'm able to send text messages to anybody in my family or anyone. I can anybody I can get a phone number for, I can send a text message to. We used it last summer to report a wildfire. We were out in the middle of nowhere, and this was a fire that started from a lightning strike, and I was able to text my daughter in Montana. She was able to, and I told her what the nearest town was, and she called the police and reported the fire, and they were out in no time flat putting that fire out. Those folks, if they would have had a GPS communicator like that, they could have, when they first got stuck in their motorhome, they could have texted family, and it automatically tells family can see the coordinates of where they are every time they send a text. That's the one thing that would have saved them. And I'm suggesting that you get them also. Yeah, sure, it's going to cost you, depending on what brand you buy, $350 to $500. People spend that on a barbecue grill. I mean, really. So to not have something like that, which is also an excellent GPS navigator on its own, you can also communicate because it's not from using cell service, it uses satellite. So anywhere you are in the world, you can get a text message out, or you could hit SOS and the company immediately contacts you and says, what's the nature of your emergency? And you can just text back, I'm stuck, I need a tow. I'm in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to die out here, I need a tow. Or I broke my leg. Oh, that's another one. There was an incident here in Montana just recently where a woman actually had one of these, but she had it in her backpack and she wasn't wearing her backpack and she fell. And I don't remember if she broke her leg or whatever. She couldn't get back to her pack and she couldn't get a message out. You need to have that thing with you, on you at all times, especially if you're by yourself. Well, anyways, I just wanted to tell you about that and suggest that is the one thing that could have saved that couple and could save you too. I suggest all of you, if you're heading out, especially by yourself, to make sure you've got a GPS communicator of some sort where you can get a message out. Hey guys, I hope you got something out of this little talk. I hope it helps. And if it did, please hit that like button and share this video with your friends so they know about these things also. We'll see you around.